Okay, thank you very much. Today I'm going to present about the macroeconomic impact of Indonesia's energy transitions, which is called JETP. This is for the final exam of the economic and business landscape. My name is Ferry Firmansyah from Inimba 10. So, talking about the JETP, this is the overview of Indonesia landscape. So as you can see here that Indonesia is become the supporting in the ASEAN economic. Well, this is the largest economy of Southeast Asia, and the growth is average around 5%, while the fossil fuel today is still dominating. So there are 62% of electricity generations is still using coal, which is impact with the environment and also cause the CO2 emissions, as we know. But at the same time, the fossil fuel sectors is really contributing with the GDP, the macroeconomics, some government revenue, and also creating jobs, especially in the coal producing region. So as you can see here, JETP is coming since 2022 from the G20 summit. So the aim is to accelerate the renewable energy program in Indonesia by providing the global climate finance, which is initiative to support the developing countries, especially Indonesia. So the first one is in the South Africa, and Indonesia is the second with the Vietnam. But in terms of the funding, it's more than 20 billion, which is the largest funding. Okay, the next question is whether JETP is going to be a game changer as a strategic catalyst, or JETP can be raised into Indonesia because of the macroeconomic impact. So on the left side, it's about the program that JETP provide. First is building the infrastructures, the grid interconnection network, and there is the accelerations of coal plant retirement, which is accelerated into 2020, some dispatchable, renewable, variable project, and also integrations of the supply chains. So the next question is the JETP becoming a game changer here. The aim is to unlock the long-term economic benefits and also reduce the reliance on the fossil fuel, but at the same time, JETP must be equal with the how to maintain the energy prices, create the green job in the emerging sectors. Or JETP can be erased to Indonesia. So there is some macroeconomic uncertainty, investment and fiscal pressure, and also what about the energy security and also the transition risk during the transitions, and also how the effect with the social equity challenge. So by using this methodology, I'm going to assess what is the impact of JETP to Indonesia macroeconomy. So I've been done some literature review. I'm combining all the journals, officials, website of the JETP, and also some international journal, as well as the data from the BAPNAS, BPS, and the Minister of Finance. And after that, I'm doing the SWOT analysis to support what is the strength, weakness, and also opportunity and threats. And finally, I'm analyzing all the JETP effect, especially for the Indonesia macroeconomy. And also at the end, I will give some suggestions. What is the best in order to protect the Indonesian macroeconomy because of these accelerations. So these are the SWOT analysis. While beforehand, based on this formula, so the macroeconomy is usually reflect with the GDP. So there are some important parameters here, such as household spending, investment, government spending, export, and also import that is affect the trade balance. So by those parameters, I use the SWOT analysis to see what is the strength, weakness, and opportunity and threat over this parameter. So, for instance, in the employment, which I suppose that is influence from the household spending, the JETP strength will create a new job, especially in the renewable energy. But and the weakness, there will be a job, several job losses. I mean, very significant job losses, especially in the fossil sector, in the coal industries. And if we see, yeah, investment, so it will mobilize 20 billion, which is can strengthen the exchange rate, but at the same time, loan, a commercial loan, can have a negative impact to raise the interest rate. So following the trade balance and energy mix, also assessed with the SWOT analysis. So this is the detail of the household spending and employment. So since 1970, household consumption is really important with the Indonesian macroeconomy. So it will boost the GDP growth, as you can see here. So something happened with the household consumptions. It will also lower or even endangering the Indonesian economy growth. So the JETP can impact to the household spending. First is because the early retirement of the coal plants. So based on the reference that there will be 30,000 workers impacted, especially in the coal mining and also in the power plant sectors. But at the same time, JETP can support the job creations. So some modeling, I found the journal that there will be 7 to 12 million job created until 2050 by using the scenario of accelerated renewable focus pathways. While on the other hand, I guess some journals say that there is strong link between the renewable energy skills, educations, and income growth. That is really affect with the household spending. But I also provide some recommendations here that to protect how the impact to the household spending here is talking about the transitions. We have to create some just transition roadmap with the job retaining, relocation support if needed, and then local economic diversifications. And the second is the expand in the vocational and green skill training program, which can improve the competencies to anticipate the renewable energy sectors coming, and also provide bantuan tunai langsung if necessary to household that is impact with the coal phase out. So talking about the financing, this is the impact of JETP with the capital investment. So as you know that the investment is key to boosting the Indonesian's economic growth, especially the foreign investment. It will create, accelerate some activities, especially as you know that Indonesian capital nowadays is quite limited. A lot of program government ambitions, but at the same time, the renewable energy still need to be worked out, right? So the 20 billion committed for transitions, there are some risks. I say this is the risk that we need to identify. So the JETP funding scheme, I found that there are 4 risks. First is about channeling. The funding will be channeled via intermediaries. So it will require sovereign guarantees. It means that it will give the exposure of the government must allocate for up to 8.4 billion to back up loan from the sovereign guarantees. While specifically US and UK guarantees is only over if Indonesia has reached the single borrower limit, while today a condition that Indonesia has not met the limit actually imposed by the World Bank. So it will reduce some risk in the sharing capacity and also increase direct fiscal exposure. And then the other is about the project only can be carried out by the SOEs, which will bring some limited access to the private company, private sector participations, which can slow the renewable energy deployment. While the loan is actually in the foreign currency, which is subject to the complex condition and minimum ticket size. So these are some impact or risk that can be happen to the JETP. I mean to the Indonesian capital investment. Uh, so I recommend several things. Is first is to establish a sovereign guarantee cap to limit the fiscal exposures. Proactively engage with the World Bank and try to negotiate, expand the eligibility to the private sectors to contribute in the renewable energy development. And also, how do we aggregate small projects into the bulk portfolio so it will meet the size threshold. So in the meantime, JETP also become give impact in the reshaping the budget priorities. So at the same time, it will give a more green capital, but at the other hand, it will less government income, especially in the fossil energy. So as you can see on the left side, that the Indonesian government spending is actually rise. It's about 3.6 trillion, yeah, 3,600 trillion. So because of the renewable energy project infrastructure increase, it will increase the government spending also. But if you see in the positive side, if we are spent in the green energy, it will proven to have stronger economic multipliers rather than the conventional spending. But on the right side, it's about the total subsidized energy from the government to subsidize the civilization. So 66% of the total subsidized, it's about the energy. This is mainly due to coal as a primary power source. And what JETP brings, it will impact in the raise of the government subsidies, especially when the coal pays out. But at the same time, I think the revenue of government will be reduced. This is because the royalties and tax from the coal sectors, it will impact with the JETP renewable accelerations. So some recommendations is first is to prioritize the green spending. How do we relocate, subsidize, and capping the non-productive spending, strengthening investment efficiency, and also establish green fiscal rules to ensure that spending is capped relative to revenue. So in this slide, what I want to offer is about Indonesia need to restructure the government spending while the renewable energy coming. There will be a lot of project, a lot of spending, while at the same time spending need to be reallocate, reprioritize which one is more important and which one is down. So in terms of the government spending can be maintained at the allowable rate. So this is the implications in the energy mix shift to the renewable energy. So as you can see here, this is the graphic of the coal productions and also export. So from 2013 to 2017, coal is relatively stable and even increased in 2019, but slightly dipping in 2025. In several journals, I've read that coal is already forecast to be lowered in the next few years because of the China and India as the major exporter of coal in Indonesia is nowadays is prioritize their domestic as well as their green energy renewable transitions as well. So there are dipping down of the coal export from Indonesia, which is boosting the Indonesian export, the trade balance. Finally, it will boost the Indonesian economy. So what will happen? Rising domestic coal retirement is push producer to seek export market to profit. So that's changing mechanism from the domestic producers to exporting. So while India and also China is try to slowing down, it means that we have to find another market that potential for Indonesia to export the coal, especially in the developing countries. But in the short term, I guess coal revenue tax revenue remain stable because um, what is it as stated in the RUPTL that the coal power sectors is still maintained, but there's no development, there's no new development, but the existing is still maintained to become the base load. So I guess there is also impact in the price of coal volatility. It's because falling of the domestic demand and also the global market shift. Um, some several recommendations to maintain the what is it? Trade balance is the first is to develop export reliance strategies. Second, and to phase down domestic coal import reliance. We can also support coal logistic diversifications. And finally, is to introduce dynamic coal export taxations. While the JETP implications, it's about the energy mix. So as you can see here that the Indonesia energy supply is reach up to 2,000 million barrel oil equivalent, with coal still dominating at 40%. So JETP aims is to ensure the affordability and reliability during the transitions. While this is the impact of the renewable energy, first is to improve the health outcomes, reduce poverty, and lower social spending. But at the same time, it will the domestic renewable like solar and wind. It can reduce full import and protect against the global oil price volatility, which is good. And yeah, it's expected that the full transitions could boost like GDP by 0.5%. It create 2.6 more jobs, 2.6% of more job, and also raise social welfare by 8%. This one is from IRENA. And the other research said that 1% increase in renewable energy could raise the GDP by 0.4%. So some recommendations, the retirement of coal, I think it's need to be gradual by region and prioritize. There is, and we need to make sure that there is no significant impact to prevent the job losses and the local economic shocks. While the growth of renewable uh, will maintain the energy mix and also the important things. I think the energy security And also, we need to prioritize some affordable, which is included in the JETP projects, especially for rural and vulnerable communities. So these are the conclusions of my paper. So JETP, it can be accelerator of the Indonesia Renewable Energy Program, but it require a careful attention, especially in the short run. So um, as you can see that the SWOT analysis is reveals some trade-off of between the green job creations, but at the same time it will create losses in the fossil sector jobs. So I emphasize some upskilling and regional equity as well as the investment risk to be put in attention, not to increase the interest rate. So based on this perspective, household, government, trade dynamics, energy, and also the investment policy, the JETP program is actually a very good program, but at the same time, we need to, what is it, careful, especially about the investment policy. So there are some risks to the country finance, which we need to identify first, and we need to be careful about preparing a better financial scheme to avoid the fiscal instability. So some recommendations is about to include some concessional finance, aligning national plans, supporting displaced worker, improving the governance, and also using fiscal tools to stabilize the economy. And finally, some future research I think might be needed, especially to do some quantify what is the macroeconomic impact, since my research here is only a qualitative one. But we can use some modeling to quantify what is the quantitative impact to the macroeconomy, even to the GDP. So also we can assess what is the fiscal risk, more explore about that to see what is the impact to the Indonesian macroeconomy. So I guess that is my presentation. Thank you very much, Pak Jikri. And I guess Indonesian JETP, it's not just an energy shift, it's the high stakes of the economic transformations that will define the nation growth, resilience, global relevance to the decades to come. Thank you very much. See you.